pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
Follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the TMP Championship Series, live here from TM Productions Speedway. So glad you joined us here tonight on JTN. Hello and welcome, folks. My name is Joe Twansky up here in the booth as we head for race number 2 of this TMP Championship Series. All 12 drivers still in the running for the overall championship. Same 12 locked drivers as 1 week ago. There's some issues last week with Speedway out in Ontario. Admins and officials decided to go ahead and give the drivers eliminated a mulligan. So tonight we will eliminate half of our championship contenders. The bottom 6 will not advance into the next round of the championship next week at the Trenton Raceway. Again, 150 laps tonight around this 1 mile fast, high bank, shortish track here based off the MNRL Speedway. Track that these likes to chew up the Hoosier Racing tires underneath these race cars. It's going to be a fun time here tonight on JTN. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. We can't thank you enough as always. And we also encourage you to go check out our friends at TMP as they continue to kind of build this series, build this league. A lot of great stuff going on, I'm sure, in the next year. Of course, with the 3 different series and championship formats. It's going to be a fun time next year, so you're going to want to get in on the action before this new season will start this fall. About 21, 22 seconds a lap here. Major fall off in the seconds range for these drivers, and only 2 sets of tires laying in the pit. It'll make tire conservation all the more crucial for all of these drivers. Yes, you are, Barb. Yes, you are. This is the right race. Dan and Steve, they'll be out there. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great Tuesday, or Wednesday. I'm sorry. I don't even know what day it is. Wednesday evening, halfway through the work week, of course. Going to be a fun time here tonight on JTN. We're just always here to have fun, folks. You're going to start seeing those qualifying results start to come in at the top of your screens at home. Of course. Right now, Roger Nevillesek provisionally at the top of the timesheets with a 21.3. 21.39, looks like. Large field of drivers here tonight. Currently, 14 have taken a time. 21.391 the time. 21.395 for Tedder. So 4 1,000ths of a second will separate our front row currently as the times continue to trickle in. So very, very close on speed here tonight for all these drivers. It'll be interesting to watch and see how everyone decides to play their tires. If you're someone starting out back, do you maybe conserve them? We heard drivers can really only go about 40 laps racing full out. Going to need to split this race into thirds, 50 laps a segment. Probably will be some cautions along the way that'll save some of these guys from themselves maybe a little bit, but when you take those tires, also going to be a very, very critical point in this race. Welcome, Zach. But when you take those tires, also going to be crucial to how you manage your strategy. We saw Josh Boyer last week took tires a little bit earlier and then made a fuel-only pit stop to get himself a larger advantage that would have worked if there wasn't a caution late. And then he ended up having some video game issues that cost him the race 1 week ago, or at least an opportunity to win that race. Qualifying, though, has concluded. Let's go ahead and take you through tonight's starting lineup. On pole tonight, it's the number 51 of Roger Nebelseck with Jamie Tedder to the outside. Dick Jordan and Josh Boyer are going to roll off in row number 2. Tom Musa and Rich Knappick in row 3. Viper and Tom Goodman make up row number 4. And rounding out your top 10 tonight, Steve Rubino and Daryl Johnston in the 86. Doug Palmer in the 108 rolls off in 11th with Dan Rubino to his outside in 12th. Row 7 tonight is the 49 of Irv Johnston and the 85 of Josh 2. Josh, of course, big presenting sponsor here of the TMP Championship Series live right here on JTN. You'll see that Josh's Eggs logo on each and every one of these race cars. Bob Sire in the 1 rolls off in 15th. First car to not take a time. The rest of these on random draw. The 12 of Jim Windrow, the 0 of John Wall, the 2 of Rich Finkel, and the 31 of Rod Weston makes up your field of 19 cars here tonight from the TM Productions Raceway. And yes, Zach, you are correct. It's going to be a fun time, though. Love this track. I love watching races at this track just because these guys are... these guys absolutely will be slinging it around here throughout the night. It's always a fun time. Welcome in, Ann. Hope you're having a fantastic evening, too. And, of course, always my pleasure. Thank you for... I heard that you and Barb might have gotten a little bit of a late notification that we were racing or that we were live tonight, so I appreciate y'all cutting some time out for us into your schedules. Really appreciate that. I know you'll be rooting on Danny and Steve here this evening. And hope all is going well for you as well, as we're into the 4th month of the year already. My goodness, time flies. There's your pole sitter, Roger Nebelseck. That purple is his color of choice. Purple, as it were. Hey, Dalton. Welcome. Hamusa was one of those guys that was previously thought to be eliminated after some issues last week. Gets a second lease on life tonight in that number 4. Pardon. Intro there in the 12. Happy hour has wound down to its conclusion. Cars should be get gridded up here in a few moments, folks. See a big slew of guys coming down pit road all here together. Anticipate maybe some green flag pit stops tonight if we get going racing. As we'll get lined up behind our Pontiac Grand Prix pace car and await the command to get engines fired here from the TMP Raceway. Oh, it's been a stumbling, bumbling kind of day. Welcome in, Michael. Oh, I miss getting to talk with y'all, too.
Drivers, start your engines!
As there is the command, and engines are fired here. 19 cars rolling off. Roger Nebelsack, Jamie Tedder on row number 1. Dick Jordan, Josh Boyer, row 2. Row 3 is Tom Musa and Rich Napick. Viper and Tom Goodman make up row number 4. Row 5 tonight will be the 07 to Steve Rubino and Daryl Johnston. We go through the rest of the field here. Dog Palmer and Rubino. Irv Johnston, Josh 2. Bob Sire, Jim Windrow, John Wall, Rich Fenkel, and Rod Weston. Getting 150 laps, 2 sets of tires laying in the pits. How will you manage here tonight in what will be a very, very fascinating race at the TMP Raceway? Roger Nebelsack rolling off with the pole as the pace car ducks in. A awkward start with Josh Boyer. It looks like he's going to try to elect to drop to the rear here on the start. Green flag, and we're underway here in the TMP Championship Series, Race 2 from the TMP Raceway. Side by side for the lead off of turn number 2. Nebelsack able to clear down the back straightaway. He's got the race lead now. You set forth trying to manage the tires. Here comes Jamie Tedder looking to the inside. Laps led also count for those bonus points. Do you want those bonus points in case you are eliminated and you are trying to get one of those wild card spots? Tedder to the point on lap 2. Alrighty, you're seeing Tom Musa now into the inside of Roger Nebelsack. Nebelsack qualified on pole, but already dropping back here. Start this thing off. Dog Palmer already up many spots here. A couple of these guys willing and electing to go to the front of the field. And this might be something where these guys that get out to a large lead, what they'll do is they'll back it down at the end of the run. They'll give up the time at the back end, while these guys right now are giving it up at the front end. Josh Boyer, the biggest name, he qualified 4th and has dropped all the way back. He is almost 7 seconds behind our leader right now. And he's 3 seconds back of Dick Jordan, who currently sits 18th. Another guy that dropped to the back of the field. It's really going to be a matter of how far back you want to drop, it feels like. Now Musa's starting to chip at the lead. This top 3, they've opened up about a 2-second gap to 4th place Viper in the 24. Tom Goodman is up into 5th. Roger Nebelsick back there in 6th now from the pole. So he led that first lap and is about 3.5 seconds back of the lead. And again, folks, this all intentional from these guys. Tonight, it's more about racing the track and racing those 4 pieces of rubber in the corners of your car and trying to keep them underneath you for 150 laps and 50 laps apiece. Watching everyone back here behind Tom Goodman in 5th. This is kind of where all these cars are stacked up here behind the 33. But again, this isn't something where it's like these guys can't go anywhere. I think it's a lot of just riding around. There's a lot of folks criticize the current state of super speedway racing and NASCAR, and that's kind of what you're seeing here in terms of these guys they're put into this box where they only have 2 sets of tires in the pits. So would it be quicker for them all to go full throttle, run qualifying laps, lap after lap after lap? Of course it would. But you only got 2 sets of tires. You only got 2 tire changes down there in pit road. So you gotta manage those tires down there. The other thing to note, the driver's currently on the outside looking in for the championship. Got Tedder, Musa, Vayer would be advancing, Viper would be advancing, Tom Goodman would be advancing, Roger Nebelsick would be advancing, Steve Rubino would be the last to advance. Dan Rubino right now would be the first driver eliminated. They are in 7th and 8th in the running order there. You see that magenta car of Steve Rubino, and then the red of Dan Rubino right behind him, the 07 and the 44. There you see them. Let's go ahead and go on board with the 07 here. Your helmet cam with Steve Rubino. Get a good look inside of this race car as Roger Nebelsick's trying to pull off the pass. The apron just a little bit there. Palmer has been passed for 4th. He starts to slide back, and again, that's That's what happens when you use up those tires. Steve Rubino going on by. That's why you didn't see a lot of these guys elect to push the issue early on. Palmer started back there in row number 5, drove all the way up to the front into 3rd, and now starting to fall back 20 laps into this race. Oh, we got a crash. John Wall around. Into the outside wall goes the 0 in turn 3. Caution will be out for the first time here tonight. Josh Boyer driving on by. It looked like he got hooked, folks. Let's go high above. Bob Sire there in the 1 to his outside. Clips the wall, coming down. Ooh. Came down, but the 0 is maybe going up to try to get around Rich Napick there in the 6. So that lime green colored car. Another look at it. Moment where the spotter maybe needs to say not clear. That was a heavy lick for that 0 car. The first caution of the night. Wouldn't expect to see a lot of these guys come down pit road here. Take this as a breather. Let your tires cool down a little bit, maybe. Going back green this time by Tedder with the lead. Tom Musa, Viper, Tom Goodman, Roger Nebelsack, your top 5. Doug Palmer had fallen all the way back into 12th. Pace car pulls on in, getting ready to go back green here with Jamie Tedder in the lead. Green flag, and we're back underway. Ooh, Musa into the wall there. Musa seems to be where the logjam is starting on this run. Maybe taking a little slower approach. Viper, though, going to look to the inside. Looks for second. Big checkup. A lot of flames coming out of the exhaust. They have the 33 car as well of Goodman. Viper again looks to the inside here into turn 3. Musa's up the track. He's getting single file again. Josh Boyer took it super easy on that initial run. This time is staying up with the pack. They're behind John Wall, or I'm sorry, Bob Sire. Doug Palmer right now having to clutch to keep the tires underneath him. He is extremely slow compared to the rest of this field, about half a lap back of the leader. Rubino lost a couple spots. He's fallen back into 9th now, not in line with his brother Steve. See Goodman there in the 33 starting to slip up the racetrack as well. About 20 laps away from where these guys, I think, will all be screaming to come down pit road for tires. The other thing to watch is someone try to come down a little bit early and take advantage and short pit just a little bit. And some of these drivers, too, just racing to not be eliminated tonight. A lot of these front runners now, all of them, actually. Top 6 would be your 6 to move on. See Steve Rubino right now on the white line. Nebelsek's still up a lane. He clips the wall there off of turn 4 right in front of Rubino. Rubino checks up. I made a comment earlier that there are Hoosiers under these cars. No, folks, there's Goodyears under them. Apologies to the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Goodyear, get there. Viper to the inside of Musa for second. He'll complete that pass down into turn 1. So Tom Musa, another one of those guys that drove to the front on the start. Now starting to fall back about 35 laps. 32 of which were green flag. Maybe starting to feel the effects of some of that tire wear. A lot of smoke down here in turn 1 and 2. We stay green. Goodman looking to the inside of Musa now for third. And he'll complete that pass. That allows Nebelsek to have the next shot. Getting around Musa. Car on pit road. That's John Wall in the 0. Of course, involved in that first incident. Rod Weston also on pit road. Getting a little bit early here. Tedder is really starting to slow down. These guys are going to be babying the tires. You see Windrow making up some spots. Steve Rubino making up a few spots. Oh, Musa into the wall a little bit there into turn 3. Guys really fighting the tires here with about 10 laps left on the Goodyears. The other thing is, if you feel like you got a lot of life left in your tires, do you go a little bit longer on this run? A lap gain now is it's a pretty decent chunk later. Palmer on pit road. Josh Boyer now going by Tom Musa. Daryl Johnston. Oh, squeezes Nebelsick there off of turn 4. And Viper is taking over the race lead from Jamie Tedder. So move Viper to the top spot. Oh, Bob Sire there. Gotta stay out of the way. One car is very slow on the old tires. Now Josh Boyer trying to make up some ground. All going by the outside of Tom Goodman here. Again, approaching these pit stops. Jordan coming on pit road. Irv Johnston is on pit road. There you see the difference in tires. Weston had pit almost 10 laps ago now. We're just hustling these cars right now, trying to get every last lap out of them. Garbino might let Boyer on by here. Boyer's going to at least take it. Dan Rubino on pit road. How far are you gonna go now? Boyer up to third. He's gonna be looking for second here. His caution's out. Caution. Rod Weston around in turn 1. Brings out our second caution as we were... Oh, we got into Roger Nebelsick. Oh, no. Nebelsick, second week in a row? There you see it, Weston just right into the back of the 51, was battling with the 0. Don Wall's bad night continues. Rich Napick also involved in it. And he has some engine damage there on the 6. That's going to be killer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So we go on board with Napic here through this one. You can see the incident up ahead. It's off way early, and I think just barely clipped him, and that was enough to do a lot of damage to this Pontiac. On board with John Wall. Pretty good little piece of driving to just do a 360 and get back going, though. With a 0. Alright, that switches things up a little bit. Everyone now will have new-ish tires. We'll go back green next time by. Jamie Tedder will now have the race lead. Viper there in second. Josh Boyer, Steve Rubino, Jim Windrow, your top 5. A lot of wave arounds here. Caution did not come at an opportune time. Very inopportune time at that. I get one extra lap of caution here, make sure things are all set. We'll go back racing next time by. It's a good chance, though, for us to remind you. We've got the next 2 Wednesday nights, TMP Championship Series. Next week from Trenton. The following week, finale from Michigan. And then the day after, April 24th, Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action from Las Vegas. Those are your next 3 races right here on JTN, presented by SchemeHaven.com. So some great racing action coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. So you want to make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on. You're clicking the like button on all the videos so YouTube knows you like what you're watching, so it'll keep recommending it to you, because we got a great back catalog of races as well. Whenever you need your racing fix, don't go to the NASCAR 24/7 channel on Tubi. Go right here. It's JTN on YouTube, because we're free as well. And I have a feeling we have less ads. At least I hope we do. Tedder with control, green flag, we're back underway. No, we're not. We're gonna do a gentleman's restart. Oop, oop. Careful, boys. All right, let's try again. Coming back to the line, Tedder with control. Green flag, and we're back underway. Field for the most part stays single file. Rich Napick here in the 6th, first car a lap down. The field a little jumbled right now. You see Steve Rubino up the track. Allows Dan to go on by, but Dan 2 laps down, only car 2 laps down right now. I think Danny's going to be pushing the issue here, try to get one back the hard way. Just be careful, though. Don't push into your brother. Steve Rubino around in turns 1 and 2. Caution going to be out for the 3rd time tonight. Gets absolutely punted. Oh, brother. That's what Steve's saying, too. Not good conversations to have at the dinner table later this week. And, oh, man. Sometimes it's better to just stay behind the car in front of you. Let's go on board with the 61 of Dick Jordan. That'll be a night ender for Steve Rubino. Goodman getting the wave around here, or the lucky dog, excuse me. So getting ready to go back green. Josh Boyer on point for this restart. Coming back to lap 64 of 150. Green flag, and we're back on our way. A bit of wheel spin there out of the 12 of Windrow. That develops a gap there between 2nd and 3rd place. Dan Rubino way up the track. He's out of the way of all the leaders. Rubino ain't feeling too hot. Josh 2 and Rich Napick, they're side by side. 2, though, on the lead lap in that 85 car. Right now is 5th driver to advance. Roger Nebelsak has that last transfer spot. So now that we've gotten a few laps under our belts on this run, see the 61 and 51 side by side. Try to start to wait and see what drivers are taking which approach on the second run of the race. Some varying strategies to start as we approach halfway. Jordan right now is a lap down. Irv Johnston currently has the lucky dog position in the 49 car. There he is in that teal machine. Rich Knappich also will be fighting for that lucky dog there in the 6, so him and Jordan will probably battle a little more hotly. Test the spot a little bit more. Yeah, Steve got spun out by Danny Barb and then got hit after he was sideways. It's Josh Boyer out in front, Jim Windrow in second. Josh 2 is now up into third in the 85. A big thank you has to go out, of course, to Josh's Egg Company. Dunn, North Carolina. Freshest eggs on the market. If you're in the area of Dunn, D-U-N-N, check out Josh's Eggs. Check out his website or his Facebook page to find out more. And Josh's Eggs Co. out of Dunn, North Carolina. Caution. Oh, we got a big crash. Oh, big crash. That's not good. Viper collected up in this. Jordan. Rich Fankel collected. Tom Musa. Rich Knappich. Dan Rubino. Roger Nebelsak. Big crash here. Down the back straightaway. Taking out a few guys that I feel like we thought at one point would be contending for the race win. You know, Viper was up there. You see here in the 24 car going for a spin. Roger Nebelsak, of course, qualified on pole. Go on board with Roger. Let's go off the front bumper cam. Dick Jordan. That'll make you dizzy. So a lot of guys coming down pit road here to get some damage repaired. Wonder if anyone's gonna just elect to go ahead and take tires, maybe take a 1-lap penalty at the end of this race. Not necessarily know how that will shake out. As the pace car is in, Josh Boyer will have control here for the restart. Green flag. We're back underway. Caution. We're getting into the silly slew, folks. I'm having with 33. Oof. Tom Goodman out of the race and out of the running for the championship. Windrow going to have control here for the restart as the pace car is in. Come back to lap 84 of 150. Green flag, and we're back underway. Boyer with a good run down the back straightaway gets to the inside of Windrow for the lead. You see John Wall there in the 0. Already up, looking for the second spot. Maybe he'll try to take the lead here off of turn number 4. Down into turn 1, Boyer with the top spot, but Wall to the bottom. Look at that 0 go. He pushes the issue with the tires, gets back to the race lead. Or gets to the race lead, excuse me. Boyer now sits in second. A lot of damage there on that 61 car. You see the rear end of that car still is tore up. Windrow in the 12 trying to close in for second on Boyer. Meanwhile, John Wall has opened up about a 7/10 of a second lead. And how hard do you push? That's the question all these drivers are asking themselves. And you can see that lead continue to grow now to a 1.5 seconds. So it's growing exponentially at this rate. That being the race lead for John Wall. Josh Boyer's put a little bit of space between himself and third place Jim Windrow. Barb, Danny's still out there. He's currently 16th, 2 laps down, but yeah, Steve is out of the race. Rubino, they're up the track now, 3 laps down in the 44, so still dealing with some damage there and gets into the wall a little bit. Looks like he's going to pull off and maybe get out of these guys' way. Leaders go on by. Tough night for both Rubinos. Bob Palmer in danger, in jeopardy of going a lap down here as John Walls continuing to close the gap. I'd put that 108 car lap down. He would be the first car lap down. Dick Jordan currently sits 13th. Next car lap down, Roger Nebelsack right behind him in 14th. Those two, again, would be battling for a lucky dog spot. They're nose to tail on the track right now. Not the night Nebelsack was looking for, nor Jordan. Bunch of guys just kind of caught up in some incidents throughout this race that have really derailed any hopes they had of a strong run or even advancing in this championship. Tedder gets around the outside of Josh 2. Bright pink number 85 also going to get passed by the TL49 of Irv Johnston. Johnston has been on a steady climb throughout the field here. Closing in on those pit stops, too, for all these drivers. Come down, take that last set of tires. Maybe just run it full throttle all out to the end of this race. John Wall with a 6-second lead. I think he might have took the extra set, folks. You might be trying this strategy where you take an extra set of tires. Palmer, be careful. Oh, boy. You take the extra set, you take the lap penalty at the end of the race, but if you're ahead by a lap, doesn't matter. Hoping that this thing runs green, though, for that strategy to work out. And Rubino with new tires on the 44 goes screaming by the 0. Boyer and Windrow might even be feeling like they're racing for the win here. They race for second. They'll just need to stay in touch with the 0. Can't let them get too big of a lead. Here comes Josh Boyer down pit road. Herb Johnston also down pit road. John Wall's still out there on track. I just feel like if you're Wall in this 0 car, you wanna... If you're running to the end here, run. Hopefully you don't pit again. We're getting 4 as the caution is out. Gerald Johnston around in turns 3 and 4, or 1 and 2, excuse me. 6th caution of the night. Oh, Musa. Two gets up into the 86, sends him around. That changes things a little bit. Most of the field a lap down right now, too. My goodness. So what Wall would be able to do here is he'd be able to keep a lot of these guys a lap down. Oh my goodness. So a lot of things being sorted out there on the track right now, folks. We're just waiting for to get confirmation what things are going to look like here. But John Wall is still your leader. Jamie Tedder in second. Viper is third. Josh 2 there, that 85 car, currently 2 laps down in 11th. Tom Musa behind him, also 2 laps down in 12th. Why nobody likes cautions coming out in the middle of a pit cycle. Because it makes things very confusing. When I say very, I mean very confusing. Pace car will make the left turn down pit road. Think we might have a gentleman restart here, but Are you ready to give that green flag call nonetheless? With John Wall with the lead coming to lap 118 of 150. 32 laps to go. 33, excuse me. Green flag. Here comes Wall down pit road. Oh, man. Got too greedy. Well. Here's a replay. Just too fast, gets loose on the flat, up the racetrack. Oh, such a hopeless feeling. Helpless, excuse me. Felt like he had the strategy in the bag. On board with Irv Johnston. Next on board with Jamie Tedder. Actually, let's go on board with Viper here. This whole mess will allow a couple guys to get back on the lead lap at the least. Keep shuffling the deck here, folks, late in the going. Back to the restart. Viper gonna have control. As the pace car is in. Green flag. We're back underway. Windrow takes the race lead back from Viper. Piper continuing to lose spots. Some damage obvious on that 24 car now. 6 cars on the lead lap. Right now, Josh 2 with that last transfer spot. 85, he's trying to run away from Tom Musa and Roger Nebelsack. "25 laps to go." Over there in the 108. It's got some speed in that car now. It looks like they're in the 51, got around Tom Musa again. They're battling for that last transfer spot. They got to get by the 85 of Josh 2. And Windrow, though, with the race lead here by about 3.5 seconds over Rich Knappick in the 6 car. See, Rich, so some significant traffic between him and the 6. This was a race that was so tame at the start. Got so wild. The Windrow just on cruise control right now. Battle, though, about to be on as Roger Nebelsack closes in on Josh 2 for that final transfer spot. Caution. And that's going to give Josh 2 the lucky dog, and that's going to make things a little bit more challenging for Nebelsack. Schwenkel getting into the back of the 49 of Irv Johnston. That was the battle for 4th. Or 3rd, rather. Well, Jamie Tedder also. It's been a very chaotic night. Wonder if it's a full moon. Pace car is in. Windrow with control. Green flag, and we're back underway. So Roger Nevelsek right now in dire need of another caution here before 10 laps to go. So he's going to need it quick to get a lucky dog. It can't be the caution, or he'll need some issues from one of those 6 drivers in front of him in the running order. Daryl Johnston there in the 86 going to get on by Nebelsek now for the lucky dog spot. John Wall there in the 0 also going to be challenging for position. That's now for 9th. I'm going to line this time. It'll be 10 laps to go here from the TMP Raceway. Daryl Johnston there in the 86 making up time, trying to get back on the lead lap before the end of this race, but Windrow with a solid lead. 2 seconds now back to Rich Napick in the 6. And again, a lot of traffic the 6 would have to fight through. Don't know if they'll have enough time. 9 to go. Fastest lap of the race goes to Tom Musa, 21.58. 166.9 miles per hour. Lead grew by 0.3 of a second that lap. Napick is not catching Windrow, our leader, right now. Viper has gotten around Irv Johnston for the 5th spot, so Viper back up into the top 5. Five to go for Windrow. Windrow continuing to build a lead here. Just 3 circuits remain. Just has to keep the good years underneath him for 3 more laps, 3 more miles. Low car in front. That's Irv Johnston having some issues. Tire down on that 49. 2 to go. Boy. Really slow right now. Windrow coming through 3 and 4. White flag will be in the air. 1 lap to go here from the TMP Raceway, presented by Death Craver. You can check out Death Craver by Zach Rogers, now available on Amazon for purchase. That's your Death Craver, 1 to go. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. It was a wild, wacky night for all of these drivers, but at the end of it, it'll be the 12th car of Jim Windrow with the second chance opportunity, taking home the checkered flag tonight at the TMP Raceway. Roger Nebelsack comes home with the final transfer spot into the Championship 6. Next week from Trenton, Windrow brings it around, and he'll get to burn it down for the fans here at the TM Productions Raceway. You get it down. There we go. So Windrow, your race winner. Move on to our post-race. Get your results on your screens in mere moments, folks. Again, can't thank you as always for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to us here on JTN. It's always appreciated. Can't thank you enough as always for all of your support. Yeah, we're going to keep having fun next week as we head to Trenton. See results on your screens now. And again, your 6 drivers moving on. Jim Windrow in the number 12. Rich Knappick in the 6. Jamie Tedder in the 910. Josh 2 in the 85. The 24 of Viper. And the 51 of Roger Nebelsack, barely edging out Daryl Johnston for the 7th spot on the track and the final spot in the next round of the championship chase or pursuit. We'll wait for our drivers to make their way into our media center, but if you have any questions for the drivers that you'd like me to ask, by all means, you can put them there in chat. But we'll be talking with our top 3, Jim Windrow, Rich Knappick, and Jamie Tedder, here in a few moments. And now joined down here on the podium with our 3rd place finisher. He's the driver of the number 910, Jamie Tedder. Jamie, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, Joe.
What the heck happened in this race tonight? Because boy, howdy, that was a little chaos-filled, wasn't it?
I really don't know. I just tried to keep my mouth shut and my car clean. That's all I know to do.
How hard was it though to manage the tires tonight? We saw that long green flag run at the start, and then we got some quick cautions there. Maybe let's say in that second third of the race, and then the final stretch of the race, another long green flag run with the caution coming out in the middle of the pit cycle. But how hard was it to manage those tires?
Well, I took off at the first of the race, and I was like, "Oh, Roger just moved over and let me go." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll go lead a couple laps." But and then I saw everybody just dropping back, and I thought, "Well, I'm just going to keep a steady pace here." But still, it wasn't steady enough because they started. I know Viper, he caught me pretty quick, and but overall, yeah, it was really hard to save. You had to have that mentality to stay out of the gas, and sometimes I just don't have that.
Was it almost like on those tires, guys would just all of a sudden flip a switch and then they're on your bumper, or could you kind of tell when those guys were starting to turn up the heat a little bit?
Oh yeah, you could tell, and of course, using the F2 key in the game, I'd see people drop back to a second behind me, and then all of a sudden they'd be a 0.5, and I'm like, okay, so they're working it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm using my stuff, but we'll figure it out. And to come in third,
Mhm.
that was a win for me because I just was not expecting to be anywhere near third place. But I did tell Viper earlier, I was like, my goal is to be in the top 5 at the end of this race. And so at least I succeeded with my goal.
Hey, goal accomplished, Jamie. Third place finish for you and this 9-10 team tonight. Congratulations on it. Before I let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. You got some great people behind you, some great sponsors, of course, for this series especially. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yes, sir. Of course, first and foremost, we always appreciate you, Joe, and JTN doing these series, and I appreciate Tom and Roger putting on a show for us and having this championship series. And of course, we have several guys from SMO that come over here and race with them, and it's always good to see different leagues come together and run in different series. And good job to GM for a win tonight, and I guess Rich was second place. So I know whoever was in second, I had the opportunity to try to pass on the outside, but I did try it, but I was like, I'm going to push into the wall. And I'm like, you know what? Third's good enough. I mean, because right now it's about the points.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, thank you guys, and enjoy the race, and hopefully see you guys next week.
Hey, sounds good, Jamie. Congratulations again on moving on. And as always, can't thank you enough for your time here after this one.
Yes, sir.
Jamie Tedder, driver of the number 910, third place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and next talk with our second place finisher. He's the driver of the number 6, Rich Napick. Rich, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, second place run for you in the 6 bunch. Again, I think you heard me ask Jamie this first question. Crazy, chaotic race. I think maybe collected in a couple things here tonight that weren't of your own doing. What goes through your mind when those things happen, and how'd you able to rebound up for a second place finish?
Oh, a lot of luck got me into second. I'll tell you that. I was just hanging back, and that first wreck, I thought I had it missed, and then I just caught somebody a little bit, and I had some engine damage. So I had to work through that, and then the cautions just worked in my favor, and I was just saving tires, the whole race. And a second is a win for me.
I was gonna say you were smoking at one point out there. That's usually a sign of a terminal issue, isn't it?
Yep, the crew was able to fix the engine and get me going. I didn't have the power down the straightaway, and people could catch me in the straightaway, but I was good in the corners. And I heard Jamie saying he could get me, and he was getting me on the straightaway, but in the corners he didn't have the tires.
Now moving on to the next round of the championship, the goal obviously is to make it to Michigan to have a shot at the title, but what should we be looking out for next week? Should we expect more chaos, or do you think next week might be swing back the other direction and be a little more tame?
Yeah, it'll be a more tame, a bigger track.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're at
Trenton next week. Yep, Trenton next week.
Yeah, it's a bigger track. You got more room. This is a bull ring right here. It's like the Darlington, so you got to race the track and save your tires. And next week it's just totally different track, and you have more room, and just go for it.
Well, Rich went for it here tonight. Showed the perseverance to come back from the engine damage. Congratulations on the runner-up finish and moving on in that championship fight. Before that you go, I want to give you the opportunity. You got some great folks behind you, some great partners, of course, on all these cars here in this series. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Okay, thanks to you guys, JTN, for doing a broadcast. You guys do a great job. Thanks to TMP and everybody's that's racing there. A bunch of good drivers. Everybody's cool. Get along with everybody. Like racing there. And thanks for everybody who watched the race. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Well, Rich, thank you for taking some time here after this one. Come talk with us here at JTN. Congratulations on the result. Moving on. Best of luck next week, and hope to be talking with you again soon.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Rich Napick, driver of the number 6, your second place finisher here tonight from TMP Raceway. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself real quick here, folks. So I just go ask a quick question. Or actually, nope. We're here in Victory Lane with the driver of the number 12, your race winner here tonight, Jim Windrow. Jim, you got a copy.
I do.
Look at that. I summoned you in my brain, and then you appeared. That's crazy. How'd you manage that?
I don't know. Just kind of like how I fell into that win.
Okay, so you said it. I didn't. How do you have any idea how any of this happened tonight? Because those cautions, man, they came out at brutal times all throughout the race.
Yeah, I want to say the first round of pit stops, it worked perfectly. There was about 2 laps to go on fuel, and the caution came out, so I could clutch it around. Gained a couple extra laps there with tire wise and fuel, and that second caution, it was like mayhem. I was coming into the pits, and the caution came out, so I did a drive-through, and that put some guys lap down, and it put me a lap down, but I was the first one to lap down, so I got the lucky dog, and then I pitted. And then came back out, obviously fresh to go with the lead lap. So, and then a couple of leaders tangled there, and then I just kind of eased her home. In practice, we had a good long run car, and I just took care of the tires because that was the big thing. You started with the 4 that you were on, and then you only had 8 change tires after that. So you had to make it at least the 50 laps of the first set. And on your starting set, I should say, and then another 50 on that second set, which I think we went a little bit longer due to the cautions, like you mentioned. And I only had to put, I think, like 40 laps on that last set, so I could crank off some laps towards the end there.
How much of a sigh of relief is that, then, knowing that last run is going to be the shortest of the night? Because sometimes it feels like, as a driver, maybe you work yourself into a corner and that last run ends up being the longest of the night. How is it kind of that being the opposite case here this evening?
I was hoping for a longer run just for the fact that we had lost second gear on one of the restarts about midway through the race there. And
so you didn't want restarts.
So going from first to third on that, third is just such a tall gear that I tried to get the RPMs up as much as I could in first to jump over to third, and I let the guys behind me know and kind of jump down a little bit. That's why you saw me laying down on the restarts, but it went, so I was happy with that.
Well, Jim, a big win here tonight to be very happy about, moving on as well in the championship. Congratulations on it. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Got some great folks behind you, great partners, of course, on all these cars here in this championship series. The floor is yours. You know what to do, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to thank you guys for broadcasting this. It's a blast going back to watch it. We do it in the game here in it, and then kind of neat to see the replay of it. Josh's Eggs, of course, he's got the title sponsor for all this IROC stuff. And a big shout out to Tom and especially Roger. Roger puts up with a lot of stuff, even during the race. There's chaos going on, and he's a calm guy that he gets it done. And me myself, who still runs the league and have been doing this for close to 20 years. I know what he's going through. So hats off to them, and I get to do the easy part, to show up and race and have fun and throw in my opinion every once in a while.
There you go. Well, hey man, congratulations, Jim, again on the big win here tonight. Best of luck next week at Trenton. Hope we're talking with you again soon. And again, can't thank you enough for your time here after celebrating this win tonight at TMP Raceway.
Thank you very much, guys.
Jim Windrow, driver of the number 12, your race winner here tonight in race number 2 of the TMP Championship Series. Folks, that's going to wrap up our coverage here tonight from the TMP Raceway. Can't thank you enough, as always, for tuning in. Make sure, if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Also, a big thank you, again, goes out to Josh's Eggs for their sponsorship of this TMP Championship Series. Each and every race going to be live right here on JTN the next 2 weeks. Again, start time 9:05 p.m. Eastern, 8:05 Central for our coverage beginning, again, the next 2 Wednesday nights. Big thank you You heard Jim talk about it. Roger, Tom, they do a great job of putting this league together, putting these races on, having some unique formats. We encourage you to head on over to the TMP Racing website. We have that link down in the video description below. And with all that being said, folks, for all of us here at JTN, Bristol, our producer, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.